ways ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Welcome to the Chapters Wrap Fireside Edition. We got the fire going. It's a difficult time in our country. We are in a situation where half the country is divided. And the impeachment vote just came in today. And I think that we need to take a look at that, how it really kind of played itself out. Obviously, our president was impeached, and there were 10 Republicans that voted for impeachment and 222 Democrats that voted, leading 232 votes for impeachment, his second impeachment in 13 months. And you need 217 for impeachment. So I put that up. However, we start off with Martin Luther King because, first of all, we honor King each and every day. However, it's his freedom, it's his work, it's his vision, and his advocacy that really opened up the door for so many people. And I want to bring that up because we need to stand united. We need to be connected to each other. We need to love each other through peace and love and support. It's not about blue states. It's not about red states. It's about America. So we're all together in this, and we will overcome this. And our guest tonight, Dave Revels, is a musician. However, he's a family man, and he's kind of like one of my mentors over time. He's a great guy. He's been in different performances, and we're going to talk to him about it. But as we look over the presidency, the presidents before our current president really kind of set the tone for our country. So we have a little video that we want to show about some of the presidents before Trump took office. Let's check it out.
A moment of great dishonor and shame for our nation. A sickening and heartbreaking sight. A national tragedy. An unprecedented assault on our Capitol, our Constitution, and our country. In pointed statements, all four former presidents from both sides of the aisle coming together to condemn Wednesday's acts of violence. George W. Bush, the last Republican president, said he watched the scenes of mayhem unfold in disbelief and dismay, adding, "This is how election results are disputed in a banana republic, not our democratic republic." Calling out President Trump, Barack Obama said the attacks on the U.S. Capitol were incited by a sitting president who has continued to baselessly lie about the outcome of a lawful election, adding, "We'd be kidding ourselves if we treated it as a total surprise." Fellow Democrat Bill Clinton writing, "The assault was fueled by more than 4 years of poison politics, spreading deliberate misinformation, sowing distrust in our system, and pitting Americans against one another. The match was lit by Donald Trump and his most ardent enablers." Jimmy Carter also reacting to the riots, saying, "Having observed elections in troubled democracies worldwide, I know that we the people can unite to walk back from this precipice, to peacefully uphold the laws of our nation. And we must." All of the former leaders also calling for a peaceful path forward. Obama urging Republican leaders to take the first steps towards extinguishing the flames and choose America. Bush calling on all Americans to support the rule of law, saying our country is more important than the politics of the moment. Clinton sharing a message of hope for the nation, writing, "I have always believed that America is made up of good, decent people. I still do. If that's who we really are, we must reject today's violence, turn the page, and move forward together." The former presidents will be at the inauguration on January 20th. With the exception of the Carters, the couple, both in their 90s, have wished Joe Biden and Kamala Harris success with the new administration. Hoda?
All right, Stephanie Gosk for us on that part of the story. Stephanie, thank you.
I wanted to show that because it unifies all the presidents. Not to condemn the current administration, but to show unification in all those presidents. And Jimmy Carter, I think, said it best. We have a little quote from Jimmy Carter. "Aggression unopposed becomes a contagious disease." Aggression unopposed becomes a contagious disease. So whatever took place a week ago, we needed to confront it head on. And I think United States of America stepped up and did the right thing. But I want our young viewers to look at what America is about. Not about the videos that you see over and over again, and even the backgrounds is something I just played. I want us to remember the flag, the American flag, and the Capitol, the way it should be, and the way we all remember it to be. So before we bring in our guest, I want our producer behind the scenes, it's his birthday. So I want to say happy birthday to Carmine. That's me and Carmine. Carmine is a great guy. He's doing this show tonight. He played Little Ray and Bat Boy. He's been in all kinds of productions, and I'm so proud of him and everything that he does. He has a great family, so happy birthday, and keep up the great work you're doing behind the scenes. And Carmine is just an unbelievable person. But before we bring our guest in, we have a little video, but we have two quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King that I want to pop up there because it is his day, every day his day, but it's his day on Monday. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. So hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. We need to remember that. And the other quote, the time is always right to do what is right. The time is always right to do what is right. And that is so very important that we live by that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So I want to make sure that we keep that in mind. So without further ado, I want to pop in a video about Dave Revels and who he is. And then we'll introduce Dave and very shortly. So let's bring in the video, the work that Dave Revels, singer-songwriter, does each and every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shadows of the 60s!
Cause I skies have altered. The tears won't wash away.
Can fly like a bird in the sky. I can buy anything, money can buy. Oh, I can turn a river into a raging fire. And I can live forever without no die. All these things I can do. The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need more. What I want is your love, baby.
So, Dave Revels is an entertainer with over 3 decades of experience. In the mid to late 80s, he was a member of the Hall of Fame group The Drifters, which featured 2 original members, Charlie Thomas and Ellsbury Hobbs. He has toured worldwide and currently lead singer and record arranger producer for internationally acclaimed a cappella group The Persuasions. He's an author and songwriter. His song Stand Up America, hailed by many as a contemporary national anthem, has been featured in shows nationwide. He has been the theme song for various fundraisers, and he does great work after the hurricane victims in New Orleans and Haiti. Dave's Stand Up America One World Children's Choral Group has performed at large events, including Citi Field in New York. So it's my great honor and to bring in my great friend, Dave Revels. Dave, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How you doing? We can't hear you. Or I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Maybe I did something wrong.
I can see you. Hello? Oh.
Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Dave, welcome. Welcome. So this is our fireside chat. You got your fire going. I got my fire going. It's all good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Thank you so very much. I'm doing well. It's a difficult time. Is your family safe and healthy? And it's a really challenging time for all of us.
Yes, thank God I can say that my family is healthy, and we're doing okay. You know, it's a ocean we all gotta float in right now.
And you know, the country is going through a challenge. You know, we're kind of, in the midst of uncharted waters here for a long, long time. And what's your take on how the country is, and how do we rebuild the faith in America, but also the faith in each other?
It all comes down to who has the megaphone, who gets to amplify the thoughts that we feel. I'll give you a little example. A mother who can barely make ends meet, who has to work long hours, take care of her kids. She doesn't have a megaphone, so you don't hear her story. It comes down to who has the microphone. You know, it's like being on stage for me. Who has the microphone gets to be heard. Right now, the way our world is set up with the internet, it's almost impossible to get your voice heard. You know, if it's not a sensationalistic story, no one knows about it. It's a complicated question you ask, you know, with so many different ways to answer it. I think first we need to all start with empathy, being able to feel for someone other than your family. You know, it's all right, you ask me, how's my family doing? It's easy for me to answer that question. But can I answer a question for someone who's not of blood of mine? You know, am I thinking about somebody who I don't even know? You know, I say prayer in the morning for people that or in my life that I know that are ailing for one reason or another. And recently I ran to a man at Home Depot. His name is Mike. And he told me he has lymphoma. And he was going to his chemotherapy treatment, or the first phase of it. And I can hear in his voice, he was scared. So I said, Mike, I don't know you, but I'm going to include you in my prayers every morning. I'm going to speak your name out of my mouth to the Lord, asking that this will be pulled from your body. You can continue to walk in grace in this land. So I guess we have to start with empathy before we go anywhere. That's the foundation stone we have to start with. Have to be able to feel for the other man, woman, or child in this world.
It's about unifying each other too. I think because of the pandemic, we've been isolated and disconnected, and what's going on, the stuff around us. It's very, very important now to find ways, and even through music, is to reconnect with one another, but also have faith in God and faith in family and faith in thy neighbor, and to support one another. And I think that's what it's all about.
Well, I agree, and right now we have a world where people with violent tendencies seems to be the only ones making a lot of noise right now. They're shouting from the rooftops. And people of peace need to shout from the rooftops also. The pandemic has created a lot of new nuances in communication and how we take in information. Because of the pandemic and having to shelter in place, people were glued to their televisions. The news media takes up more people's time. I know people who listen to the news in the morning for hours, and then at night before they go to bed for hours. What else is in your life? And I think we're consumed by it. And media, I'm not talking about news, I'm talking about marketing. It's all about marketing. Has always been able to manipulate the public. We're a consumer-driven world, and it's all about consumption. And who can get you to consume their product is the one that triumphs economically, and get their points across better. It's all about consumerism. We consume. If anything, the pandemic showed us that Amazon did more business than they've done in the world. I mean, FedEx was alive. All these companies that delivered products were booming, because we consume. We're consumers. So any business, political, religious, or otherwise, know the key is to get you to pay attention to them. And it doesn't matter whether they're telling you something good or bad. If they can get to you and hold your attention, they can get you to believe whatever it is they want you to believe, because the more you believe is the more you consume. And right now, we've been consuming a lot of hate, and there are people who have been consuming and getting angrier and getting more volatile. And there are people who are consuming and getting more afraid and scared. There are a lot of politicians who are afraid to speak their minds. You understand? It's between hate, fear, anger. It's like all the negative things that we shouldn't be amplifying. Those are the things that are being amplified. Voices of love are marginalized. When we talk about we need to come together in harmony and peace, we need to be honest that there are factions of our society that are not interested in that dialogue. They don't want to listen to that dialogue because that's not what they're about. Do you spend time hating them? I think you have to be aware that they're there. And at the same time, all people need to find unions with people who have similar feelings about things. You know, if you're about love, you need to associate with more people of love. If you're about peace and harmony, you need to associate with more people, and you need to be more vocal about it.
Right.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You know, Dave, you make a lot of noise with your music, and there's one song that we're going to play a little bit, Stand Up America. What's the background to this song before we show this little clip?
Not unlike where we are right now, 4 years ago. If you recall, before September 1st, 2001, September 11, 2001, there was a lot of division in America. Red states, blue states, poor, rich. You know, we were a very divided country back then. And no one was listening to anybody. We weren't talking to each other. And I started writing a song because I traveled the globe and I traveled all across the country. And I remember looking out the window, and the first thing that struck me was I didn't see any borders, any physical borders. All I saw was land, air, and sea. And it troubled me that America, to me, I come from immigrant background. So to me, I come from, like all immigrants who came to this country, that America was that shining, how would you call it? That shining city on the hill. And if you wanted to better your life, come to America. You'll be welcome. If you're willing to work hard and add yourself to the American fabric, you would be welcomed. And you would work really hard, pay your bills, pay your taxes, support different things in this world, and you would better your life, and you would better your life. So I have great appreciation what America is, because I came to this country. I'm originally from England. Some may not know that. My family, West Indian background, Jamaican heritage, okay? And I came to this country and I lived the American dream. I was in high school as a captain of the football team. I was a soloist in the glee club. I dated the captain of the cheerleaders. Then I later went on and became a part of a historical group, the Drifters, the historical group, the Persuasions. And I'm saying, wow, where else in the world can you come from another country and live the American dream, live the dream of that particular country? So it troubled me very much when I noticed that we were talking hate. You know, so many people were preaching hate and distrust and dislike for each other. And so I started writing Stand Up America, and based around the fact that we all are human, we all experience the same things: love, hope, pain, sorrow, dreams, everything we felt for in this world. And I felt that we were ignoring the very fabric of this country. So I started writing Stand Up America as a healing point for me. You know, I've traveled all across this world. You know, though I haven't spoken to each and every man, still I've learned one simple truth that covers all and covers you, that we are one, we're all the same. We know laughter, we know pain. We seek love, long for truth. We walk in familiar shoes across this land of many names. We're no different, we're all the same. Stand Up America. Join hands and show the world that we uphold these truths as evident, that we're all equal on this earth. Stand Up America, for proudly we do hail. There are only three colors in America: red, white, and blue. Not red person, black person, Chinese, white. Just the flag. We live on the one flag, no matter what color you are. So I started writing a song. The bridge wasn't written until September 11 happened. And I noticed the difference. We started talking with each other again. We started listening to each other. We really wanted to know how the next person felt. We had that word I said in the beginning, empathy. We empathized with each other. And then I wrote the bridge because I saw that. And the bridge said, take a look around you at our gathering strength. Through the growing storm, be the bow like Ulysses' bow, bends but don't break. And when your neighbor needs you, be quick to lend a hand. Could be across the street, across the nation, across anywhere. Build a bridge wherever needed and mend a broken fence, meaning solve your arguments, come together, find a way to to find common ground with your differences so that you can move together powerfully as a people, as a country, and as a world. So that's what Stand Up America was all about. And when I started performing it, the first time I performed the song, I got a shock of my life. Before I could even finish the first chorus, people were mouthing the words. And I saw them trying to form the words and sing along. And they started singing along with it. And I said, what, did I plagiarize somebody's music? No, what it was that the words resonated. You know, Stand Up America, join hands and show the world. We uphold these truths as evident. We're all equal on this earth. People started singing it. So in other words, I realized I touched a common chord. And now I feel we're in the same place today.
I well said, sir. Let's check out Stand Up America, Dave Revels.
Throughout American history, the men and women of the armed forces have always answered the call to duty with great courage. Those serving overseas would like you to know that they do appreciate your support. Please join us now for Stand Up America Tour as we perform inspired by the spirit of American independence and the character of its people as our way of saluting these extraordinary men and women of the armed forces. The song is simply entitled, Stand Up America.
Traveled off across this land, and though I haven't spoken with each and every man, still I have learned a simple truth, which covers old and covers new, that we are one, we're all the same, we know laughter, we know pain. We seek love, long for truth. We walk in familiar shoes across our land of many names. We're no different, we're all the same. So come together now, stand up America. Join hands and show the world we uphold this truth as evidence. We're all equal on this earth. Stand up America, for proudly we do. There are only three colors in America. That's the red, the white, and blue. There are those.
Song. Great song, Dave. Great song. It really brings people together. And children together. It's a difficult time now for adults, but what is it doing to our children? So we need to unify it. We need to be role models. The kids are home learning remotely, and what they see on TV, supervised or unsupervised by their parents, we need to turn things around. So songs like that, music like that, is so very important.
Well, a lot of those kids you saw in the video were from yeshiva schools, public schools, Catholic schools, and they all came together just to say something positive, you know.
Wow. Well, now, Dave, you've been in the Drifters, Hall of Fame group, The Persuasion, Shadows of the 60s. Great music, great time, Motown. Real quickly, what's your thoughts about Motown sound and that music, and why is it so important to keep that music alive? I mean, my mom was a big Diana Ross fan, and I love Diana Ross and the Supremes, and that whole thing is great. And your Motown show, Shadows of the 60s, really brings you home, and it unifies people. And now we're hurting during a pandemic. How important was that Motown sound?
You know, again, it was like the backdrop of all our lives. I mean, Berry Gordy, is a genius. You know, he created all these songs with all these writers, songwriters, producers, and artists. They were basically telling the stories of everyone's lives at the time. You know, love songs, all of our relationships, you know, and it was pop music before I think pop music has ever really recognized what pop music is. I think Motown was pop music, you know, and keeping it alive. I think it's alive almost on its own. We're just like amplifying it some more. You know, a lot of these artists, some are no longer with us. So that is why we're paying tribute to a lot of them, like Levi Stubbs on the Four Tops. He's not here anymore. So, you know, that's one of my idols. So there's a story for everyone's life experience from Motown. So that's why it's still around, because it's you know how live stories are relevant. They never stop. We never stop falling in and out of love. It just never stops, you know. So I don't know what to say about Motown. It was just a perfect coming together of every component of art.
Well, this is the chapter's wrap. You can call us on our phone here if you want, 516-476-6271 on our telephone here if you want to check in with our show. That's Dave Revels. And Dave, you've been part of the Bare Naked Ladies of Persuasions, Mark Karen, Country Joe McDonald, about 20 albums through the years. So music has really been the foundation outside of family and faith of your journey in life, correct?
Yeah, it's in every fabric of my life. You know, I can't remember not singing. You know, of being a part. I guess I like the immediate feeling that you get when you're in front of people. You know, it's a very personal experience. I don't care if it's 10,000 people or 10 people. It's just something therapeutic about it when you give something to people and they give it back to you. And that's what art is, you know, when you give yourself completely to the art. And that's what I do. And that's what all the Cast from Shadows 60 does. That's what a Persuasion does, is give everything, you know. And through it, I've met so many incredible people. You know, I met Yorma and Jack from Jefferson Airplane. You know, taught at his school at Fur Peace Ranch in Pomeroy, Ohio. I met so many people that, you know, I went to school through the arts, you know, touring with the Drifters all those years. I met so many incredible, iconic people, and I learned something from each and every one of them. And what I learned is to be true to yourself, you know.
Well, this is a fireside rap. So your fire is just like my fire. It's still burning, so we're doing something right. So this is the fireside rap, rapping with Dave Revels. And Dave, you have a song, Move That Mountain. And it's another inspirational song. Can you explain to and you're going to have a new talk show called Move That Mountain coming up real soon on our network. Talk about the song Move That Mountain.
All right. Well, first of all, everything I do has to be inspiring somehow. Has to have a solution attached to it, or a possible solution attached to it. I never like talking about negativity or being in a conversation with people just putting people down or complaining. I find that if you don't have a solution, don't add another log on the fire of confusion and hate and anger and all that stuff and gossip. So I try to be positive. And the concept behind Move That Mountain is that we all face problems in our lives. We will always face a problem. There will always be some obstacle in front of us for things we want. And we have to decide, what are we going to do about that obstacle? Are we going to sit there and wallow away in self-pity, or woe is me? Are we going to turn back and go back? You know, or are we going to climb the mountain or move the mountain out of the way? Are we going to find a way to move the problem away? Move it forward, move it out of the way? Are we going to find a way to grow and not let it stop us? You know, so that's what it's all about. The song is about, if you're faced with a problem, what are you going to do? You know, if you got to take a stand, where are you going to take that stand? When are you going to take that stand? You know, if whatever you have to do, what you going to do about it? So that's what Move That Mountain is about.
Well, it's a great piece of work. It's a great music. It brings people together, just like all your music. So let's show our viewers out there. Dave Revels, Move That Mountain.
Well, can I tell you who it is on it?
Yes.
Prophets goes out to Tony Lewis on drums. What a hell of a character. Kevin on Kevin Hill on bass, and Melvin Miller Jr. on guitar, and William Wiest on piano, and Crispin Seal and the Uptown Horns blowing the horns out for you. Crispin Seal was the Uptown Horns that played behind the Rolling Stones and the Steve Wheel Tour. They played with James Brown. They played with just about everybody you can imagine in the world. Wow. So I was honored to have them. Steve did the arrangement, the horn arrangement of the song. Crispin Seal did the horn arrangements.
Well, it's all about the music. Move That Mountain. Let's check it out.
Just got to do. Where do you look when you just got to look? When do you move when you just got to move? And how do you get what you just got to get? Well, you pick up your feet, lift up your head, put your back and heart right in it, and you push, push, push. Come on, move that mountain. Don't you let nothing get in your way. Come on, move that mountain. Don't you waste another day. What do you choose when you just got to choose? Where do you stand when you just got to stand? When do you change what you just got to change? And how do you face what you just got to face? Well, yeah, pick up your feet, lift up your head, put your back and heart right in it, and you push, push, push. Come on, move that mountain. Don't you let nothing get in your way. Come on, move that mountain. Don't you waste another day. Don't you wait, don't you hesitate. What you need, you might be too late. Move that mountain. Don't you let nothing get in your way. Come on, move that mountain. Don't you waste another day. If your world ain't right, you gotta put up a fight. If your world ain't right, you gotta put up a fight. Come on, you gotta put up a fight, y'all. You gotta put up a fight, y'all. Come on, move that mountain. Come on now, move that mountain. Come on, move that mountain. Come on, move that mountain.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting into the music here. Great song.
Yeah,
you know, Dave. I mean, what's really good about you? You're really true to your word and to the music, and our friendship means so much to me. And just appearing here on the Chapters Rap through the years, you've been in Bat Boy. You played Ray Negron's father. How was that experience? Carmine is our producer here backstage. He played Little Ray. And how was that experience working with Ray Negron and Bat Boy?
Fantastic, you know, because Ray has a way of just push you into the deep end of the pool and say swim, and sink or swim, you know. And it's been such a great cast of characters that I met. Just incredible people, you know, very giving. It's a great story. It can only be told if you're from an inside perspective. And Ray lived it. And the book he wrote, I think, is phenomenal. Yankee Miracle, because you get an inside picture of a world that you would never get unless somebody told you what took place in those rooms. So to be a part of this show and to be honored for him to ask him to play his dad, quite an honor. And great cast members, you know, my co-star Layla, incredible singer, great personality, everyone, you know, just great experience.
Yeah, we have Teresa Farrell is watching. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa,
all as well.
Teresa, the greatest cry in the world in that scene. Every time she does that scene, I believe every moment of it. You know, very talented woman, very good comedian, and nice person. Hey, Teresa.
And I have this little bet. Was Ray's afro back in the day? You think Carmine had a better afro during the show? He did a great job, Carmine, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Excellent work. But you know, when I was young, I had a big afro myself.
Ah, there we go. But you know, it was such a great performance. But what's great about Bat Boy and about Ray, it's all about giving back. So we all kind of volunteered our services, and we gave back to different causes: autism, veterans, ALS. People fell to ALS victims.
Steve, I'm not getting paid.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? This show just ended right now. Just ended. The check is in the mail. The check is in the mail.
I'm not getting paid for Bat Boy. No.
Oh, I don't know. You didn't sign the contract at the end.
Oh.
That's your bad. Your bad. This is the chapter's wrap. That's Dave Revel's unbelievable guy, great musician. And recently, we need to be happy, right? We need to be happy all the time. It's so, you know, forget about the negativity. You mentioned we watch too much TV, right? We need to be happy. We need to express that happiness. And you put out a new video during this pandemic, Happy to Be. Explain that a little bit.
Well, you know, with the pandemic, you spend a lot of time thinking about your life, you know, where you're going and how you want to do things, and coming to peace with things. You know, I mean, everyone's world was upended. The entertainment industry, of course. You know, I go from doing, you know, 10 dates a month to no dates, and with no idea when that's coming back. So you got to find some sort of a way to make sense of everything. So for me, I turned back to something that I sort of laid dormant for a while, which was my own solo recording career. And I worked with so many people and done so many projects, but I sort of convinced myself I didn't really care if I had a recording career or not. But the pandemic forced me to look at that, because what else was I going to look at? And I became reacquainted with myself as an artist, as a songwriter again. And the song basically is about being comfortable in your own skin. You know, before the pandemic, I think the majority of people spend their time trying to please people, trying to figure out what would please people to make them more likable, you know, and chasing after things, putting themselves or not comfortable in what they have, you know. And so the song is all about becoming comfortable, really comfortable who you are, you know, accepting yourself and not trying to change to please anyone, because at the center of it all is you. You know, you've got to anchor yourself first, or, you know, if you don't anchor yourself, you can be blown any which way by the wind or change. And change is constantly happening. People are always trying to change your mind and blow you all over the place. And so this song is about finding a center of gravity, becoming at peace with yourself. And so, and to be happy with yourself. So happy to be, you know, who you are. That's what the song's about. But before I say one more thing, that's my interpretation of the song. The song is going to mean something completely different to the listener, everybody who listens to it. So I ask you to ignore what I just said. That's my personal take on the song. But the song has to have a meaning for you. So whatever it means to you is what it's going to mean to you. And whatever it means to you, that is the truth to the song. So remember, art is subjective.
And that's great. As a psychologist, I often, it's about interpretation and people's perceptions. So what one person sees in a painting or a picture is a completely different meaning to the next person. And music is the same way, because everybody interprets what they hear and how it affects them, but also what they see, especially in the video that you put together with this. It's really extraordinary what you put together.
Well, because of the pandemic, I did it myself. I edited it myself. I paid for footage that I like, and I assembled the video and did it myself. And because of necessity, I don't have the money to hire a videographer or a director. Although I wish I did, but I don't.
Well, Dave, if you would have signed the contract, you would have had some money.
The idea is just like move that mountain. You got to do what you got to do when you got to do it. You got to find a way. So I found a way to make this video to express what I was feeling. And again, this is my take on it.
All right. Happy to be Dave Revels.
Everything about me is just the way it's supposed to be. Would not trade 1 hour trying to change so you'll see me. Because I'm older, prouder now of the way I stand my ground. I'm just happy to be where I am, in a place meant for me. Every man is an island. Every woman like the sea. Life blooms like a flower. You just gotta wait if you want to see. You may think you know about it now, but its ways are like the clouds. I'm just happy to be where I am, in a place meant for me. Oh, I'm just happy to be where I am. I'm just happy to be where I am. I'm just happy to be where I am. Where I am. Because I'm older, prouder now of the way I stand my ground. I'm just happy to be where I am, in a place meant for me.
Bravo, bravo. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
You know, it kind of makes you think, you kind of reflect a little bit on life and people and friends and people that are here now. We lost a lot of people due to COVID in 2020. It's 2021 now. What advice, we're coming to an end, but what advice would you give young people that may be struggling, isolated, and trying to be happy and trying to find that inner strength within them?
Talk to people. Talk with your friends, and share your experiences of what you're going through. Don't just keep it into yourself, because the thing about your own head, you can get lost in your head. Your head is like the world's biggest unknown forest, the world's deepest ocean, darkest ocean. You can get in there and never get back out. So talk to people, express yourself through writing about it. If you're a singer, sing about it. Anything you do for self-expression, do it. Let that be a therapy. Express yourself through some medium of some kind. That's the best advice I can give.
Well, Dave Rebels, amazing career, amazing man, amazing family, and you've been an amazing friend to me and our viewers out there. Got to see some of your music that you put out during this little fireside rap. Your fire kept going, my fire kept going, so that's a good thing. I don't know what we did, but we made it work, so thank you.
Thank you. Can I just mention the players on that last song?
Yes.
Steve Book on guitar, Fabrizio Francesi on bass from Italy, and Muthu Kumar from India. He lives in India. He played the tabla. That's the drums you heard in there. So again, people with the international theme. I try to reach out all over the globe to people. I have friends across the globe, and they're near and dear to me, and I wish to see them as I wish to see my next door neighbor. So everybody keep your strength together. And remember, don't be afraid of 2021. You survived 2020. You know now that the world has surprises, and you learn how to roll with that. So anything that happens in 2021, you should be able to adjust to it, because you know that change is potentially always a component in your life now, right?
That's great advice. And your new show starts next week. Move That Mountain. It's going to be a half-hour show on our network, and I can't wait to hear some of the things you'll be talking about to kind of help us through 2021. Move That Mountain. Dave Revels, God bless you, man. We will definitely see each other down the road real soon.
Look forward to it, Steve. Carmine, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, man. All right, that was Dave Revels. Unbelievable guy, unbelievable performer. Our little fireside rap here, rapping with Dave Revels. We may do this each and every week, so I'm very thankful. It's a challenging time for all of us, and we started this show off talking about that challenge. But I want people to remember about our American flag. We have the right to be patriotic. We have the right to be loving. We have the right to be free. It's not about blue states. It's not about red states. It's all about America being free without violence. And Dr. Martin Luther King was the author of his teachings that really helped us in the 50s and 60s and continues to this day. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. I'll read that one more time. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. We need to keep that in mind always, especially during these difficult times. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And Martin Luther King, it's his special day on Monday. We honor him, but we honor him each and every day. And there's a little guy out there, kid president, who's going to take us home with some words of wisdom for Martin Luther King. God bless. This is Steve Vaccaro, your host. And Chapters Rap will come back with you next week. And stay tuned to the network. God bless. Let's check out Kid President.
Once upon a time, there's a man named Martin Luther King Jr. It's funny to think about because now we know his name so well, but at one time he was just a kid. Like maybe you're a kid watching this. Well, he was a kid too. Well, maybe you're a grown-up. That's okay too. Former kids are welcome here. I don't discriminate. Martin Luther King grew up to be a great man, of course, but things weren't all that great in the world while he was growing up. Not everybody was treated like they were somebody. And I believe that you should treat everybody like it's their birthday. But they didn't do that. People looked at the color of their skin. And that's how they decided if they were friends or not. Not cool, man. That didn't make him feel good. That didn't make anybody feel good. But his parents helped him grow up. He went to church. He learned about love. He grew up to be a minister to help a lot of people. He did all sorts of cool stuff. He helped a lot of people learn about love too. But still, he looked around and said, things should be better. He wanted to change things, so he did stuff. He decided, instead of spreading the hate, he would spread the love. He wanted to bring people together. Where people were hurting, he stepped in to help. He marched with them, he walked with them. He walked arm in arm with everyone. Sometimes it didn't go well, but he kept going. Sometimes he ended up in prison, but he kept going. Some people didn't like him, but he kept going. Some days were hard, but he kept going. Love does that, it just keeps going, even when things are dark. And, well, I don't like this part of the story, but things did get pretty dark. Someone who didn't agree with him shot him. He died in April 1968. Now, Kid President, why are you telling us this sad story? Come on. I know it. I'm sorry, but it happened. I don't like that happened. Now, I gotta tell you something. When things aren't awesome, it can be tough. And things won't always be awesome, but your response can be. Martin Luther King's response? It was awesome. Today I just wanted us to think about this. Isn't it cool that we can change things? Like any of us, anybody. He dreamed and he changed things. And he dreamed and he kept sharing his dreams. They became not just his dream, a lot of people's dream. Like this one. I have a dream that little black boys and black girls will join hands with white boys and white girls and become sisters and brothers. That's a pretty good dream. Let's dream like that. That could change things.